Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second episode of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So this is our playthrough of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, obviously. Today we are going to be exploring the museum, getting our first gym badge, hopefully, and much more, of course. We'll be heading towards Mount Moon, where we will be focusing next episode heavily on our adventures through Mount Moon, battling Team Rocket and all the good things that happen there. We'll get a brief introduction as to what Mount Moon looks like in this episode, but we won't be exploring it too much, so we'll just be kind of walking in there. But here we're walking through the museum to see what they have to offer. Of course, it's all the same stuff that we saw in our original when we did our playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. You know, all the same stuff, but just better graphics and whatnot. So I'm just talking to the people here, getting a vibe for the museum as a whole. I thought somebody would give me something like really cool in the museum here, but that does not turn out to be the case. And we have our Butterfree following us closely behind. Butterfree's a pretty cool Pokemon. Always a big fan of having Butterfree on the team, although Butterfree's not ultra useful, so we're not going to... that being said, Butterfree is actually like a pretty solid Pokemon in my opinion. I absolutely love Butterfree, but I don't think we're going to be using it long term. It's just sort of here so that we had evolutions last episode and sort of to fill some gaps. Butterfree is an amazing Pokemon once you get it up to level 20 and it learns Psychic, because the Psychic moves in this game are pretty ridiculous. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know. I mean, Butterfree's like a good like setup Pokemon. It can poison things, put them to sleep, use Psychic. I think it could even rest and stuff like that, so it's pretty good to like set up with, but I don't like using Butterfree for the majority of my playthroughs. Like as an early game Pokemon, it's a really solid Pokemon to have, but in comparison to like some of the other Pokemon we could potentially use, yeah, I just wouldn't want to use Butterfree. And then here we're going through, I put King in the first spot. Having Birdman in the first spot would be a horrific problem right now. And we actually get to see, so like, there is something interesting here. So to get started, it allows trainers who know types. So they have a rock type, so we need grass or a water type Pokemon to be able to get into here. So that's actually like pretty interesting, because if you didn't like Green Thumb, like I'm not a big fan of him, but like if you didn't like him and you were like, I'm not gonna go catch him, you have to like go all the way back to where you can catch him and catch him just to enter this gym, which is pretty surprising. Now I don't know if you can, I think you can, like you can go behind these trainers, but I'm always a big fan of dealing with the trainers first and then making my way through the gym and going up against the gym leader like one-on-one, because it lets me know like if I'm going to do well against the gym leader or not. So King has Double Kick, which is going to be my strategy throughout this gym, and then we'll fall on Green Thumb if we need to, but I think Double Kick's a super effective move because it's fighting, so I think it's going to do a good amount of damage against like the majority of the Pokemon we're going to have to go up against. I want to save my heals for when we actually go up against the gym leader Brock. Obviously it's Brock, if you didn't know that. Welcome to Kanto, folks. But no, I want to save like the majority of my potions and stuff for that, because like that could be a huge deciding factor. I mean, we have enough potions, but like I don't want to piss them away, but apparently I'm about to do that. So especially in that case, like I really didn't lose that much damage. You know, there's no need for the potion here. I think he's going to be... Yeah, he lost 4 hit points. I think we would have been fine. The average Joe. Come on, what are you doing, buddy? And here, yeah, I tried to just run past this one just to see what it would do, but it obviously catches me off guard. We could have went behind and circled around, but like I said, I was just trying to see if it, like, mandatorily knocks us into that battle, because... Well, to be honest, I don't know, it's just... kind of my interests, seeing what's going on. But yeah, I did want to battle anyways, just to make sure. I mean, I feel like we're at a pretty good enough level, and we have enough Pokemon that we could definitely deal with anything that's going to come our way. But it's always good to get EXP, and you get more EXP from battling trainers like this than you do like other Pokemon out in the wild and whatnot, so it's a good way to battle. Plus, yeah, this game isn't really focused on battling, it's more focused on catching Pokemon, so it's always really nice when we get the opportunity to come in here and actually do a lot of the battles. So we won't be skipping any of the battles inside of any gyms, I don't think. There we go, King leveled up. And it actually shows here like which stats are effective, so there only our defense went up. That's also like not bad to see. I think that's like pretty entertaining to watch that happen. But now we're ready. And all they used was a defensive curl, so we don't have to worry about healing up or anything against that. We're just going to go straight up against Brock and take him on. His Pokemon are all rock type. It's like, you're going to challenge me? Show me your best. Okay, Brock, we will. And obviously, I mean, you all saw the title card here, right? Brock's ace is an Onix. But first he's going to send out a Geodude. He's the first gym trainer, so he's not going to have a very difficult team to navigate against. Although I could see his Onix posing a threat to King here. Like, if we don't play the cards right, Onix could definitely take King out. But there we go. Let's hit him with the double kick. So that just sends him into yellow health. He's going to use Tackle, which is going to do a little bit of damage. Not bad. But since he's in yellow health, I know double kick is definitely going to knock him out. So we should have no problems here. Yep, nice and easy. But Onix has a ridiculous defensive stat. Stumbling on my words here. So we really have to be careful about Onix. I mean, Onix, especially at his level right now, isn't like a huge threat, even though he's like 10 times the size of my Pokemon. He could take out King if he really wanted to. He's going to use Headbutt, which does a good chunk of damage. Going to use Double Kick, which even though it's super effective, look at how little damage it's actually doing to Onix. It's barely scraping the surface there. I think Double Kick is the right move. He's going to use Headbutt again, which is going to bring me down to yellow. I think I could survive one more, though. Like, I'm confident if I could survive one more, I could definitely KO Onix here with no problem. We won't have to worry about it. Rock Throw, but it misses. Yeah, it avoided the attack. Good job, King. And that should be the end for Onix. Yep, there he goes. So nice and easy. Like, we didn't even need to use our starter there. That was just a clear path forward. And everybody's going to get a lot of EXP from that. Yeah, Gun Show leveled up. It wants to learn Sand Attack. No. Keep your old moves, Gun Show. That's not a great move. Ratman grew to level 11. Good job. Green Thumb, 13. And, of course, we defeated Gym Leader Brock. So here's one of the only areas that I really cut. He gives us the Boulder Badge, of course, and we slap 5 there. And then he also gives us the TM for Headbutt. So I do teach this to a couple Pokemon. Just every Pokemon in our team right now can learn it, and we can use a TM as many times as we want in this game, as opposed to it being a once and done kind of deal previously. So that's kind of cool. I didn't teach it to all the Pokemon, but I taught it to a couple that were sort of like lacking some hard-hitting 100% accuracy moves. And here we get a surprise visit. He's like, "You're Average Joe, right?" And I'm like, I am. That's amazing." He's like, "I knew it. I'm always right. I'm Blue." So Blue is the original rival to Red in this game. But as you could see, like, he changes some of the stories a little bit. So we know that this timeline's a little bit different. He gives us 5 Great Balls, which we can now purchase, by the way. He says, "Hey, that's a Pokedex, right? So Gramps finally made one. He used to just make me scribble on a map." So yeah, that's a little bit of a change, because obviously in the original games, right, like the original person you're supposed to be is Red and Blue is your rival. So that's just a little bit of a change to like the whole timeline of Pokemon stuff. Not that that's really all that important, but it is interesting that the game goes back and like retroactively changes that, even though there's like no valid reason to do that. And I saw a Pokeball down here while we were there, so let's pick that up. X Defense. I don't know how to use those. Never used them before, so not going to use them moving forward, probably. There you can see, I think that's the Eevee loading screen down there in the bottom left. That's pretty neat. Just Eevee kind of rocking with the Joy-Con. I don't really know what that is, to be honest. I think it's the Eevee loading screen. Like the saving screen, sort of, but I don't know. I'm rolling with the dices here. But here, let's hand over our Pokemon. Let's get everybody nice and healed, because we are going to start heading on over. Making our way over to Mount Moon, where we should be able to find moonstones and whatnot, and that's going to greatly benefit King early on in the game. It's going to make him a solid contender moving forward. Now, I mean, he just held his own against the first gym, so that's pretty good, but it's going to make him even better. And I didn't show it, but oh yeah, let's go in here. Let's get some items. I think I cut out the item stuff here. Maybe, yeah, I sell. Do I sell? I don't sell. Okay. I think I purchased some great balls and whatnot. But we don't really need to see all that mumbo jumbo. Not sure why I left any percentage of it in here. But yeah, the game has a huge emphasis on catching Pokemon, so we're going to need to buy a lot of Pokeballs throughout the game. That's going to be my #1 thing. And then, of course, we're going into Mount Moon. We're going to want some potions, and we're going to want some escape ropes. Because I'll probably be going in and out periodically. I'd rather come out here and heal than like use a ton of potions in there, because the potions are going to be pretty important in case we need them in battle. You know, we could use them mid-battle, so we might as well. I think I might get some antidotes too, because I have been poisoned in Mount Moon before, and it's been a pain in the neck when that happens. I think the likelihood this early in the game is relatively low, but you never know, it could happen. So we might as well grab a couple while we're here. You know, just sort of get that out of the way. And I'm like, I'm good, thanks. And then there is a cut here. I forget what I cut out, actually. Oh, you know what? I end up messing around with, like, just looking at some of the settings here. So that's why there's a cut here. It's actually pretty clean, because I did it right as I was coming out of there. So now let's go this way, head over to Mount Moon. So if we don't have... I'm going to go up here and make sure. Oh, no, I'm not. If we don't have the battle completed with Brock, this guy will stop us and say, like, oh, you can't go this way. And then he's like, beat the gym first, pretty much. And, like, that's pretty much it. It, like, halts progression here, because it doesn't want you to skip a gym. Which is, like, one of the few times I will say, like, halting progression is legitimately worth it. Because, like, if it didn't, like, you could get severely hosed going this way. I mean, you wouldn't understand the basic concepts of the game if you did it that way, so it might as well make you do that first one just so you get the principle of, like, you need to do these gym battles. Like I said, I would imagine the vast majority of people playing through this have already played through the Kanto region at least once. But if not, I guess it gives you that option. And here, she's going to send out Oddish. King is not going to be able to handle Oddish real well. Grass poison typing. So this is an obvious, let's send in Birdman. Let's make the switch. And Birdman should be able to make short work of Oddish. Now this is why, like, I get the antidotes and stuff, is like Oddish is very prone to poisoning Pokemon. Like, it's like its main gimmick. It's one of the things it loves to do, either poison you or put you to sleep. I never do Awakening because we could always just deal with being asleep. Like, we could just send in another Pokemon and quickly deal with Oddish, but I don't like to be poisoned because then my Pokemon could potentially die, and because I've done plenty of... I know I've at least done one Nuzlocke on the channel, but I've done more in the past when I used to stream on Twitch and whatnot. I guess maybe it's just like a paranoia. I want to move Ratman to the front of the pack because he's the lowest level. I think Wormhole will probably be replaced, so I'm not really worried about him, but I think Ratman is going to hang on the team for a little bit. And these guys are coach trainers, so they're going to give us a harder battle. But I think in turn, right, like we get a lot of EXP out of battling them. So I think it is a fair trade. And honestly, I mean, I think we have enough Pokemon to really get through some of these trainer battles. He's going to send out Bulbasaur. Very solid Pokemon right there. Ratman ain't going to be able to do Jack Diddley against Bulbasaur. So the choice is clear. Let's send out Birdman again. Like I said, because Ratman was technically in the battle, he's going to get more EXP than the EXP share amongst the team. So the switch effect still kind of works here and still kind of holds value. So that's why we're kind of going that route. I think it's definitely a big help, like moving forward. You can see even that's super effective, but we're still going to have to hit him 2 more times, I believe. And he Leech Seeds us, which means he's going to get HP each turn that he's alive on the field. He's going to be able to pull a little bit of health from us. And you can see it's actually a little bit more than I was expecting, which is kind of scary because I was thinking, oh man, maybe Gust isn't going to do enough damage. But Gust does enough damage, so we're fine there. We're able to make it through Bulbasaur. No problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And there we go. Everybody got some EXP. Bratman got some extra EXP, which is always nice. And we're able to progress forward. And they give us a gift when we beat them, apparently. I'm not sure if it's just like this one trainer, or if all these trainers give us gifts. Like all the junior trainers or whatever that guy. But here we go. We got the Shorts man back. His shorts are cool, right? He loves shorts. They're rad. This guy's an ongoing meme of this game. And the original game, too. Everybody loves to pick on the shorts guy. But here we go. Ratman. This should actually be a decent, easy pull for Ratman. He should be able to Thunder Shock this guy. And that should pretty much kill him. Yep. Good job, Ratman. So that's like the electric typing in this game is actually pretty solid. It's just Jolteon is like the obvious best if you're not using legendaries, which I really don't like to do. Plus I have a hard time catching the legendaries. In this game I shouldn't, but yeah, Zapdos is the best, but I think, I don't know, even then I would say like Jolteon's like just more practical all around. That's at least my opinion. I like Jolteon a little bit better than Zapdos. Out of the 3 birds, I think Zapdos probably is my favorite, with Articuno being second, but I don't know. That's a while away. We don't even have to think about that. And like I said, I never add them to the team on like a regular Let's Play like this. If I was playing by myself, even then, I don't know. It's just kind of cheating to me. It's kind of my viewpoint on it. Just their stats are ungodly. Like it hits a point where it's like not fun. And here, this isn't going to be super effective. I was just kind of looking to see what we could do there. It's going to use Peck, which is not going to be effective at all against me either. Maybe go for Thunder Shock, because I'll get the special boost, because that's my special typing. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. And I didn't get poison there, which is very nice. Getting poison there would have been a big catastrophe. But there we go. Ratman will hit him with Thunder Shock again. He'll faint. That should be the end of that battle. Like I said, early on in the game, these Pokemon aren't going to give us much of a problem. Like, none of the trainers are. It's going to be easy. No worries. You know, very straightforward. But later on in the game, things will amp up. It's just sort of getting over that hump. And I kind of want to see if there's any new Pokemon down here. There's a trainer. Let's battle the trainer, I guess. Said get all the EXP you can early game. I know it'll seem redundant. This episode is like 2 times as long because of it. But honestly, it's like, it's so nice to be overpowered early game and then be like average late game. Average Joe, you get it? But no, in all honesty, yeah, it's so nice to have like just a little extra oomph when you're going into like some of these early game matches, because otherwise it could be a nightmare. Like, if you just skip through and do the stuff that you want to do without battling all these people. I don't know how some people do it. I mean, if I was going to do, like, a speed run, maybe, but I'm not a speed running person. It's never been, like, my go-to thing. So, for me, this has always been the way that I'll play through it. It takes less time than it does for me to go back and grind. And I think about leaving here, because I'll likely never use Ekans in my life. But also, a lot of, like, the cool items you get late game kind of depend on your Pokedex count. So I think having an Ekans is not bad, but I accidentally run into a Rattata, because of course I do, and it's tiny, so I think I'm going to get a little bit extra EXP. I choose not to run away. Let's get ready. Let's not waste a Great Ball on this guy. Maybe we'll use our Premier Balls, because I don't think they have, like, any benefit other than being a different color. Like, they're just sort of like... I mean, we've gotten them in games before. I don't think there's any added, like, bonus to using it. And I don't mind bleeding through them. Like, it's just no... Yep, there we go. I threw my other one in the wind. So let's use a Pokeball on this guy. That was actually an excellent throw, because we got it right as it was coming to a close there. Not that I was really paying attention, but... Let's just get him for the EXP, for the team. It's a nice, easy way to get EXP. Lots of level ups across the board there. King grew to level 14, Birdman level 14, and Wormhole to 11. So that's pretty solid stuff. Like I said, I would be concerned about leveling up Wormhole a little bit more in like a standard Let's Play, but I know I'm not going to use Wormhole in the long haul. So I'm not really overly concerned about it at this point. But here's an Ekans, which is what I really wanted. Not that I want to add it to my team or anything, but it'll be a new addition to the Pokedex, which is a little bit important to me. Not really, but kind of. And we were so close there, but it just got away. So let's try to get it again, but on an excellent throw, maybe. We might have to switch to Great Balls here. No, we got him. Look at that. Nice and easy. Ekans, which is snake backwards. As a fun fact there. There we go. Everybody got 45 EXP, and we get to see what a Pokedex entry looks like. I believe we had a few examples of that in the original episode, but in case you didn't tune into that, there's what it looks like. I just zapped through it because, like I said, we're never going to use Ekans. The poison typing is not terrific in this game, unless it's paired with something else. With that being said, I have King on my team, and he just single-handedly dealt with Onyx. He's a poison typing. But at the same point in time, yeah, it is what it is. Let's use maybe Thunder. Oh, no, we should use Double Kick against this guy, because it's going to be super effective. Yep, good call, Average Joe. Good call. He's a normal type. The fighting type is super effective against him. Ratman gets 25 EXP. Everybody else gets a little bit just for being part of the party. Just for being part of the party, folks. I can really hear like my watch on my wrist right now. I wonder if you can hear it in the video. It'd be interesting to see. But let's give a potion to Ratman. Like I said, I'm just trying to get everybody up to like an even level. Except for Wormhole. Because to be honest, he's not going to hang around on the team, like I've said. And oh my goodness, there's a bug trainer. So we're likely going to end up sending in Birdman here to deal with it. Just because Birdman can really deal with bug types like really easily. Like it makes more sense to just send in Birdman and let him sweep the team. I don't know. Yeah, this guy only has a Kakuna, so it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But honestly, like, we're just going to split the EXP down the middle and then split the rest of it amongst the team. So Birdman's fine to send out. Like, it's really, yeah. The problem is very minor. And, yeah, like, Kakuna is just going to use Harden. Maybe Tackle, eventually, but a Gust is going to just knock it out of this world, and we won't have to worry about it ever again. Even with a Harden on it, it's not going to stand a chance here. Yep. As predicted. So there we go. Those two get 29, and everybody else gets a little fraction of that. That's why I really like using multiple Pokemon in fights like that. Like, it just helps distribute it better, even though the EXP share, or it's not really EXP share, but whatever it is on. It's a little bit easier to sort of distribute the wealth, if you will, if you just use multiple Pokemon throughout the fight. And I don't think we get anything interesting over here. I try to look around. There's a Pokeball, and I see an Ekans. I got a Revive. That's nice. The Revives are going to be important late game, so I want to hold on to them as much as I can. There's a special looking Ekans, but yeah, Ekans, like, I'll just never use them. It's kind of upsetting. Here, let's go talk to this lad here. I think he's just taking a rest. And here's another trainer, a coach trainer. So let's take him on before we go into Mount Moon. That's what he's asking if we want to do. He's going to send out Meowth, the kitty cat. I'm going to send out Ratman. So this is actually like a, yeah, Meowth versus Pikachu is like an epic battle in like the anime. These two are always at odds. Team Rocket always has the Meowth that can talk, and Ash has his Pikachu. Not that I really have great attachments to that, because I watched the anime for like all of but a year when I was a young lad. But if he doesn't hit with Payday again, we should be able to double kick. But he does. Oh boy, is this the first KO of the game? That's the first KO of the game. There you go. You get to see the first knockout. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it matters who we send in, but I'm going to send in Gunshow just to be an asshole. It's just to show Meowth. This is what happens when you mess with the average Joe, buddy. And he has double kick as well. So the fighting type move, even though it's super effective, like, nobody's going to be really effective with it because they're not fighting type Pokemon. If that makes sense, but it's not going to matter in the long run. I mean, fighting type is like a really weak type to have in this region. Like, there's just not a great benefit to having it, in my opinion. I think there's much better options on the table. And we get Payday out of it that time, so not a great move. I don't really love it. If we could sell it, we'll sell it later, but it's not that important. Let's talk to this lady. She tripped over a Geodude. That's fine. Let's get whatever this is over here. An escape rope. So we probably didn't need to buy all the escape ropes, but I think it's good that we did, because we might need to come out like midway through. I've had that happen before, but very rare. When I was doing my Nuzlocke, I definitely did it. Like, I would use an escape rope at certain chunks so I could come out and heal at this Poke Center and then go back in. And that typically happened because of poisoning that would happen throughout here. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is approaching the end of the episode. If you like this episode, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. All that stuff is greatly motivational towards myself to continue to make videos just like this now and in the future. We should be next week, let's see, making it through Mount Moon, and then hopefully getting ready to battle Misty, if not battling Misty, for our second gym badge in this region. I've been having a boatload of fun with this game, although I do... Oh yeah, let's buy a Magikarp and name it Nick like I always do. But I've been having a boatload of fun making my way through this region, even though I do feel like it is a bit different than my regular playthroughs, because we're not battling Pokemon, we're just sort of catching them and getting experience from that, which is a little bit different to me. But regardless, I have been having a boatload of fun. And yeah, starting next week, right, Monday, we'll be wrapping up Yoshi's Island, if you've been watching that. And then Friday, we'll be starting Super Mario 64, which is very exciting. Not the Friday following this episode, but next Friday. So that's a really cool Let's Play. I'm sure that's going to be coming out here shortly. So if you're interested in that, hey, tune into that. That's one of the first 3D platformers out there. So I can't wait to play that. And of course, we're getting rid of Wormhole right here. I don't want to skip over that. In fact, for a level 5 Magikarp. Now, Magikarp is, it's going to be pretty weak. I'm not going to lie. It's not going to have any attacks until about level 15, and even then they're not worth using. It's really going to gain its momentum at level 20, and I think we will have it at that level. Now, I promise Magikarp will not stay on the team forever. And I'm going to name him Nick. Nick, if you're watching this, that one's for you, buddy. You know, I always name that Magikarp after you. But I'm going to take him out of the Pokeball too and watch him flop around on the ground, because I think that will bring me great joy. Look at him. Look at him, barely alive. But I promise I won't finish this game with Magikarp. I've beaten enough games with Gyarados, so I promise he will not be here for the finale. I can't say who I plan to replace him with yet, but all I could say is that he won't be here for the finale. And here we get to see our introduction to Team Rocket. They're just kind of looking around. They're looking for fossil Pokemon that is rumored to be here. But that's it for this episode. Until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hope you all had a snazzy week and are going to have a snazzy weekend. And we'll see you all here on the next one. Until then, peace out.